I want to give a short addendum to that last video because I never got to the point that I was trying to get to why this Passover is significant. I'm studying Ezra, as I've said. Now, the reason why Trump is so significant is because I said, like, he has broken the waters before us, and we're coming in his wake to rebuild, to restore the temple, God's presence in our land. Ezra, that's what Ezra did. Well, first of all, Zerubbabel and Joshua. When Cyrus gave the edict to go back and restore and rebuild Jerusalem, restore the temple is what the edict he gave. So Zerubbabel and Joshua went back and they began doing that work. But the Samaritans, who were a mixture of Jewish people who had stayed in northern Israel after the king of Assyria took them off in 721 BC, took a bunch of them off and left some of them, and then sent some Assyrians who were probably not really Assyrians, but some captives of other lands that he'd conquered, into northern Israel, and they intermarried, and that's who the Samaritans were. But these Samaritans began to oppose the rebuilding of the temple. They set it up, set up the altar. This was, I believe, 536 BC. They set up the altar within 2 years, or within a year of Cyrus. I believe it was within a year of Cyrus's decree to go back and rebuild the temple. They had the altar set up. And then within 2 years, they were beginning the foundation of the temple. And they had such opposition from these Samaritans that they stopped the work. And it wasn't until 515, it was like 20-something years before the temple was completed. And once it was, they celebrated the Passover. And we're in that time where the edict has been given to us in the Spirit. We are beginning to rebuild the presence of God in our nation. Now, I want to point out something I just discovered. This is amazing. At the same time that the Samaritans were opposing the building of the temple in Jerusalem around 536, and I don't know how long they opposed and how long the building was stopped, but it was stopped until 522 when Zechariah and Haggai, the prophets, showed up and said, no, you got to keep building, and then it was finished in 515. But during that time, in 536 BC, is when Daniel's experience with the angel in bronze. Remember that it was this striking angel who came and said, I would have been here earlier, the first day that you started praying. This is when Daniel went on the 3-week, 21-day fast, and on the 21st day, this angel, whom I wonder if it was the Son of Man, our Christ, showed up and said, I would have been here earlier, because he has a lot of the shining and the burnished bronze feet and things like that. He shows up and he says, I've been fighting the Prince of Persia. And then so that's why I've been here. And then next I'm going to go fight the Prince of Greece. I'll go into that more when we study Ezra. But this is the time when the opposition is the strongest. The stuff in the heavenlies that was going on was that Daniel, over here in Babylon, the same year, had this experience with the angel who is battling in the heavenlies against the Prince of Persia for his people, because the Prince of Persia was fighting what was going on in Israel, which is the restoring of the temple. I'm just saying, this Passover we're at here, what is going on in the heavenlies? We're at the time of restoring the presence of God in our nation. And it's just fascinating to me that the parallel in the Word, when they began to restore the temple, the presence of God in Jerusalem, at the same time we learn about this warfare that's going on in the heavenlies, the angel fighting the Prince of Persia. Very significant. Bless you.